Circle Season 3, episode, because episode 6.1 today. Hey, look, last week we said we weren't going to be here, but guess what? There was too much going on over the weekend that we were just like, man, we got to do it. We got to give the masses what they want. Plus, Rudy's really did us well. They hooked us up with tickets to the OSU Penn State match. They hooked us up with a private screening. Saw a couple of you there for the movie Foxcatcher. Dave Schultz, Mark Schultz and his brother Dave Schultz and John DuPont, and hooked us up big time with a private screening, and we just came out of it thinking, man, we gotta do a show. Right. That's how it went, and we'll probably be eating duck tonight, so it'll work out well. Everything that went on this weekend. We had the Rimmer Classic over at Sheridan. We had Grandview Heights, Porter Memorial, the Pioneer Invite, yes, most certainly, and that's not even to mention the dual meets that happened. Yeah. So let's get into it. Thursday Night Thunder. See the lights, we love you, bro. That is a great tagline. Thursday Night Thunder is good. Tell me what happened. You were at one of the matches.
Yeah, the big Thursday Night Thunder this week was the OCC tournament, or 2x4 up at Liberty, where you had Liberty, Dublin Kaufman, a team we talked about a little bit earlier in the year. Central Crossing, some people's already favorite to win the district tournament, and Westland as well. In the first round, Dublin Kaufman takes on Central Crossing, actually beats them 46-22. And Old Tangy wrestles Westland, beats them 70-6, I think. The key matches there was Weimer, he bumped up 38. He wrestles Demas, loses 13-5, and then wrestles Furnace. I think he loses 5-10 there. I think it was like 5 takedowns and 5 escapes. But anyways, then the second match of the night was Central Crossing against Old Tangy Liberty, and Old Tangy Liberty won 49-24. So that's going to be a great match in the future to watch Dublin Kaufman and Old Tangy Liberty, two great dual meet teams, go at it there.
Certainly, so, I think the fact that we mentioned Dublin Kaufman coming in strong, I thought they were going to be. We both mentioned.
We thought about this is what we thought they were. We thought this would be a great dual meet team because, like we talked about, from 6 up to heavyweight, they don't have many walk-in forfeits. They're just a bunch of solid kids. In the tournaments, we're not sure how they'll respond once we start to get into deep late rounds of it, but as a dual meet team, this really is one of the better, I would consider them a top 5 dual meet team in our district.
Right, sectional, you get 11-13 out, and that's what the kind of kids you need.
Right, awesome. But we also had another big match in the OCC.
Ohio.
Ohio, talk a little bit about that.
I will. Lancaster versus Pick Central. You know, going into this, we had talked about Pick Central being solid from pretty much 106 maybe to 160. 170.
Maybe a sleeper team to think about.
And you know, I really don't mind their heavyweight Moorfield. He's actually pretty agile. He's a tough kid, so that's another kid to put in the mix. But Lancaster displays their dominance. And I mean, and they beat him 42 to what, 24 maybe?
27, 42, 27,
yeah,
27, somewhere around there. 2 touchdowns, I think.
2 touchdowns. A match that I was really looking forward to was Miller from Lancaster against JoJo Terry from Pick Central. And it really turned out to be a little less of a match than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Miller walks away with, I think, a second period pin. Maybe a second period pin in there, so that's good.
I think it was second period pin. A couple takedowns.
Certainly.
Got him
I thought it was going to be a little closer than it was, but you know, we'll see how they bounce back. We'll see how Terry bounces back. Another match that I wanted to highlight was you get emails all the time, people talking to your ear and talking about how
all the time
we have teams that aren't ranked, and you know just
all the time.
Just make it a point. You know, Delaware Hayes took on a pretty good All Tangy Orange
all
team.
The time.
They beat them 51 to I think 15, and you know, to Delaware Hayes' credit and all the naysayers. Sean, I mean, they really did a good job in that dual meet. No prob. More dual meets that happened, not on Thursday Night Thunder though. On Saturday, Sean, I think this was a statement. A little bit, yeah. I was going to say a statement win. Yes, for Old Tangy Liberty, they invite Moeller, Cincinnati Moeller, very good Southwest team.
Bring them up from the south.
Right on. They bring them down from the north and Walsh Jesuit. And Sean, how'd it go?
Yeah, Old Tangy Liberty. I can't overstate enough how impressed I am with the team they have on the mat right now. From 106 to 170, they are flat out just a great team.
Yeah.
Once you get up there, they get a little thin. Jake Hale's out, but they're back up to 20s and 25. But to make a long story short, they bring them on like Mark said and beat them 49-19. I mean, after that flogging they put on Central Crossing, they fouled up and beat Moeller 49-19. And they can't keep it going, Kenny. I mean, these guys got to be totally spent. There's no way they have anything left in the tank. But they do. Then they wrestle Stowash, Jesuit, yes, former national.
That was way back in the day.
That
Yeah.
doesn't matter. They have a state champion on their team.
Mackle, yeah.
Mackle, and beat them. Like I said, 54-19. I'm telling you. Get to whoever Liberty is going to be in the next 2 or 3 weeks. This is going to be a great team to follow. And what's happening in 2 weeks? The state duels quarterfinals are starting to come. So we're starting to figure out these dual meet teams, where they're at, and what kind of teams these actually have. And they're really going to be an exciting team to watch going forward. But again, enough of the duels.
Yes.
Now we're heading into the tournaments and start talking about some of the tournaments we had this weekend, Mark.
Yeah, I certainly can. Rimmert Classic out in Sheridan. One of our teams, Division II, top team, Licking Valley, walks away as your champions. They had 305 points to Sheridan's like 260. They beat them by like 50 points. And then Logan, I want to bring them in. Logan had 224.5 points. They got third place. You know, we really don't see them very much. They're a D1 team. They're in the Southeast District. We really don't see them much. Good job, Logan. Top 3 finish.
Yeah.
Keaton, I want to mention this as well. Circleville, 106 pounds. Keaton had a tough match with DeSabato out at Olentangy Liberty, and he ends up dropping that. Doesn't get the championship.
Liberty, he wrestled Meade.
Meade, I'm sorry. I knew there was a Meade. Yes, I'm sorry. He did wrestle Meade.
West Jeff.
Yes, most
Well, I
certainly.
don't ask you stuff.
This is why he doesn't ask me stuff. My point is, he hadn't won the championship yet, but boom, walks away with the championship at 106. We want to say great job, Keaton. Nice work. Talk about Licking Valley as a team. They had 7 finalists. They walked away with 5 champs. They had 120 in Carpenter, 138 Martinez, Stud, 52 in Lewis, and 60 in Fountain, and even 82 in Robinson. So they had a couple other finalists in there as well. Amanda Clear Creek, the Aces, walk away with 2 champs in Leisure and Genders. They both had first period pins. Well, I'm just Leisure, walk in the park. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, no problem. Did a great job. That was at Sheridan. Really did well. Let's go down south a little bit to Nelsonville, York.
3 local schools there. Well, it's not local, but see, said 3.
Go ahead.
District schools there.
This is why I don't let you talk, Sean. 3 local school teams.
River Valley gets 2nd.
Yes.
Buckeye Valley gets 6th. And I think Jonathan Honor got an 8 there.
Yeah, top 10 finish
top
at
10
8,
there.
yep.
We did have 4 champions. Who are our 4 champions?
We had Caleb Brooks. He bumped up to 113 from
Okay.
Bishop Reedy. Caleb Brooks bumps up to 13 and wins it.
Wins after a solid Medina finish where he loses in the first round, come back to get 3rd. So he's kind of riding a hot streak
Yes,
there.
most certainly, and he did that at 6, which is impressive because you
Right,
cut that weight and then you go all the way through.
right.
So Jonathan Alder walks away with 2 champs. They had the heavyweight and Caldwell. He's stud, state champ last year. They also had Ayub at 126, and then another guy who I wanted to mention was 132 pounds was Cole Yinger from Nelsonville, York.
I love that kid, man.
Just
That kid's a
goer.
gamer.
Yes.
Kid's a gamer.
Walks away with the MOW, and it's always good to see the host school get a champ. And that's
Love that. Love
2
that.
thumbs up on that. So that was at Nelsonville, York. Let's talk Grandview Heights now. Grandview Heights is a nice little tournament there, and this tournament's been going on a really long time.
I wrestled when it's that old. That's
Ooh.
back in the 80s.
Yes, it would have been. That has been going on a long way. Anyway, the whole
I
point
really look
was,
good for my age, don't I?
yeah,
Well, talking about the tournament.
yes, Liberty Union, another team that was on our radar.
Yes.
They walked away. I think they got 2nd out there at Whitehall. Or
Yeah, they had like 7
yes.
finalists, remember?
Most
And we're
certainly.
Like, hey, we've seen this team a couple times. They're really a team to watch out for. Here we are a month later. Boom, 5 champions at the Bobcat Invitational. Owen, Smith, Bresser.
Oppenheimer?
Dempsey and Oppenheimer.
Yes,
Yeah,
Opperman. Yes. He was at 182. Who else was there?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of champs for the host school,
Brandon Fitzgerald, again,
Yes.
a kid who's coming off a solid Medina where he has a consolation semifinal win over highly ranked Weimar from Central Crossing.
Good point.
Follows that up with a stellar tournament at his home school there at 138 as a champ. Probably wasn't pushed at all, but again, we love it when the home school has a champion.
did you say stellar tournament? Did you use the word stellar?
I think I did. I haven't used that for a
You
while,
haven't
so I
used it in a
gotta
while.
rehash it a little bit. So
Let's head over to the Porter Memorial run at Hilliard Bradley High School. It's a great tournament. They got high school on one side, 3 mats, and then junior high on the other side, 3 mats there. We haven't branched out. Got to talk to the sponsors about branching out for a junior high coverage, but for right now, we're just high school coverage. And Porter Memorial Lancaster, your champs. They're in your top 10. They've been in there since day 1, and they walk away with their champs. They won. They had 215 points. Hilliard Bradley gets 2nd, and Taze Valley gets 3rd with 142 points.
Right.
Who are your big winners there? Lancaster,
Big winners
obviously.
are there. Tanner Miller wins.
Yeah.
the Duluth, I mean, the normal guys there. One of the big misses there was C.J. Campbell didn't wrestle at 12
Yeah,
or 13, and we was really excited to see Chris Hill, state placer, wrestle district champ. C.J. Campbell won 13, but it didn't materialize.
Right.
Taze Valley had 2 champions in Latham and Dooley, a placer in the state qualifier. And then again, the home school had 4 finalists and 1 champ in Driscoll, and we always love when home school has.
Driscoll won a championship? He won that?
That's what I said.
That's-
4 finalists and 1 champ. That's what that means.
How many championships he got this year?
He's got 3. He won at Old Tangy. He won at the Greater Miami Valley, and he has another one. So he starts racking up a lot of hardware. And
I wonder if this is going to come into play during your individual rankings.
You think so?
No,
Okay,
I'm just saying. I'm
never
just
mind.
saying. Let's go Olentangy
Let's not
Orange.
get too far ahead of ourselves.
Let's not. Let's
Okay.
go to Olentangy Orange, the Pioneer Invitational. We were on site there. We have the finals matches. We'll put a few up over the next week or so. Olentangy Orange puts on the tournament. Who wins that one? We had,
Olmsted
Olmsted
Falls
Falls.
comes down from Cleveland. A really good school up in the Cleveland area comes down.
Certainly.
Pretty much walks away with the tournament. Maybe won by 50 points. But
Yeah.
second, third, and fourth was really close. You have Watkins Memorial gets 188 points. Olentangy has 187, and then Pickerington North has 185. So it was really tight there. Matches could win either way to move them from second, third to fourth, up like that. There's
Yeah.
a big gap from fourth to fifth. So those 3 teams really fought out second all day long.
LeSean, we were there and we had a chance to watch pretty much the whole day. Is there any, getting away from the team race, just the idea of watching the matches go down, is there anything that jumped out at you concerning the teams that were there in the field? Anything that you walked away with thinking, man, I'm going to tell you about this?
You know, one thing it's funny you bring that. One thing I really was impressed with was Watkins Memorial as a team. These guys had like just brotherly love, companionship. I mean, they were just thick as thieves right there. They really rooted for each other. Whenever their kid won, you heard them up in the stands.
Yeah.
I think they brought 400 people to this tournament. I mean, it was just crazy. They had 3 champs. They had Lieb, Merrick, and Lieb, 13, 26, and 32. Really wrestled well. And another team that may be a little sleeper team in the dual meet format as we start to get into these state tools. A fun team to watch, and these guys bring it at every tournament. Pickerington North was there. I think they had 4 finalists.
Yes.
They didn't actually have any champs. I mean, they kind of did, but they didn't because for numerous reasons. But both Nostines get second. Tyler McCaffrey wins on disqualification when he got slammed by Josiah Harrell from Licking Heights. And Chandler Menard made his debut at 138, although he's going to be dropping down to 32 this week for Alliance. He wins at 38, but he was going to wrestle his teammate for the finals, so they just kind of forfeited it.
Yeah.
So,
do you remember last year in the finals when I think it was the
No,
two notes
I don't
time?
wanna
Okay,
think
cool,
about that.
sweet. I think they played a game and I think it was 32-32 going into overtime.
Right, but anyway.
So, anywho, what about another champ, Hall? He was a champ there.
yeah, Hall wins. He just kind of blazed through the field. I mean, that's just what Nate Hall does.
He
It's
sure
pretty-
does.
But
The heavyweight.
Heavyweight Packwood.
Yes!
Man, you know what? Someone told me that they think the greatest name in wrestling right now is Raz Lumpkins,
yeah.
which is a great name.
Yes.
But Packwood, for some reason, I don't know how I can root
Packwood.
against a guy whose name's Packwood.
Yes. Hey, I'll tell you what.
Bloom Carroll,
Bloom Carroll, yes.
Really is a good tournament. He wrestled another up-and-comer heavyweight from Westville Central that had is somebody to keep an eye on too. But
certainly.
It was good for heavyweight. It was great because heavyweight's usually like a 1-point match and 1 takedown, but it was really a great match.
I thought they were grinding. I thought they did a good
2
job.
kids who really wanted to win that match. So.
Most certainly, and coaches were into it. Always great watching those guys coach, so that was good. Let's go. Those are the end of our tournaments and our dual meets. Let's talk Wrestler of the Week. I thought we had a few chances. Just looking at these things, I thought, Fitzgerald was one. I thought Nate Hall was another one in Olentangy Orange. The way he ran through the field was good.
Right, maybe Gio DeSabato with that big win over a
certainly.
highly ranked state
Yes.
ranked guy in Chase from Lancaster. And maybe we could put a star on the whole Liberty team off this crazy 3 days where they're just like,
Whoa, don't do that. We don't have that many shirts.
we don't have any shirts.
No.
Did you
Don't do the
talk
whole
to
team.
sponsors?
I did, but I don't think we can get that
We
many.
didn't get that.
We did not
we
get
could have
that
gave
many.
it to the whole team there anyway.
But let's talk about who we did give it to. Let's talk Athlete of the Week, Wrestler of the Week, Wrestler of the Week from Inside the Circle. Sean, break it down to the masses, episode 6.1.
A guy that had clearly the tournament of his life, Bradley Rudder, Lancaster High School. Beats a district champ in Croswell from
Hartley.
Bishop Hartley.
Yes.
And then pins state alternate Mansauer from Davison in the finals to win it. Guy had an incredible week.
Yes.
He, great teammate around him to work with. He's got Sean Norris. He's got Deleuze, Jimmy Thompson. Great staff down there. So Bradley, here you go. Here's your shirt, buddy.
Yes.
Congratulations and keep it up.
Heck yeah, there's your Wrestler of the Week. Sean, what are we looking at for the upcoming week?
Upcoming week. Well, let's start Thursday with our Thursday night. We got these 2x. You know, I really like these 2x4s. I think in the beginning people were kind of standoffish, but when you get 4 teams there and 2 dual meets,
yes,
you usually find one good dual meet every
Most
night.
certainly.
It's not, you know, one where you have a superstar team wrestling a team that is struggling to fill the weight class. So these 2x4s are really working out for us. But we have Old Tangy and Delaware Hayes wrestling each other, and a match that I really think could go either way. I think this is kind of a bad matchup for Old Tangy, but this is really going to be an exciting one. I'm actually going to be there covering it on Thursday, so you will get some ITC love up there.
Yeah.
We're going to go a little west of there, up 33 to Marysville, and Central Crossing and Marysville are going to go head-to-head at it. And even though Central Crossing is coming off of 2 blowout 20-point losses, I'm actually like them to beat Marysville on Thursday. Call me crazy. And people have.
Yeah,
I think emails to prove that. But I really like Central Crossing.
You're going to be wearing another Marysville shirt.
Probably. I really like Central Crossing to win these 2 matches. Ray, I believe, is coming back. They got 2 other kids coming back as well. I think it's going to be a little much improved team just in 1 week in this short turnaround. Also, we have Pickerington North against Lancaster.
Yes.
And Pickerington North is another team. They're going to get Shakur Laney back at 26. They're going to get Chandler Menard. He'll be at 32 and 38. So they're going to put a little bit better team on the mat as well this week than they did last, and that could be a very interesting dual meet if I do say
given the
so
fact
myself.
that Lancaster was able to up and pick Central last week.
Right, can they keep it going?
Yeah, that is the question.
This really might be for it all, actually, because those are probably the 3 teams you had there. Is there somebody I'm missing?
Yeah.
Quit.
Okay.
I mean, this really might be for it all, but again, that's,
no, you're right. You're right.
I think every OCC division has a marquee matchup this week, which is great for not only the teams but for the division and the interest in wrestling as well. But enough
about tournaments.
Enough dual meets. We're going to get into tournaments. We got some great tournaments. Most of the great tournaments this week involve Central Ohio teams that are traveling north, mostly in the Toledo area. But we'll start over in Alliance, which if we go up 71 north.
We'll just stop.
Okay.
We'll just stop.
We'll go to Top Gun first. We're going to have Pickerington North, Marysville, Old Tangy, Hayes.
Yes.
Who else is up there? Barrier Bradley.
Yeah. Are they up there?
I don't know.
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, we got a lot of tournaments going on up there. Buckeye Valley is up there. Yes, they are.
What's interesting is this is going to be maybe the first time these kids wrestle 3 days in a row. They're going from the Thursday 2x4 and then the 2-day tournaments Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
So that's not only happening there. The CIT is also this week where we're going to have St. Charles, Bishop Hartley, and
Bishop Reedy going? DeSales?
DeSales usually goes as well.
Okay.
So we're going to have St. Chuck's, Hartley, and Reedy.
Yeah.
And
DeSales.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we have another tournament, Mommy, which is always a great tournament up there as well in the Toledo area. We're going to have Central Crossing, Mount Vernon, Reynoldsburg, and Grove City.
Yeah, most certainly.
Another great tournament.
Excellent tournament. Well, there you go, episode 3.6. Are we done?
Yeah. No? What do you guys, what do you want? The team rankings.
Got you. 1, 2. How are we going? Top 10?
Where do you want me to start?
You want to start in the middle, just get crazy? Or do you want to start at 10?
We'll start at 10.
All right, let's go.
At number 10, we're going to give the people what they want, and we're going to put the Delaware Pacers.
Stop emailing us!
Here you go. This is your chance to prove it. Like, again, they have a great dual meet coming up with Old Tangy on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then from there, they're going up to
Top Gun.
So we're going to really find out where these guys are at. When we get into January, you are who you are. These guys will say, well, we have 4 or 5 forfeits and 3 or 4 and 8. In January, if you got 3 or 4 forfeits, that's who you are. This,
Don't let them off the hook.
Don't let them off the hook. So
Number 9.
Number 9. Dudley Kaufman, coming off those 2 blowout wins, one over Central Crossing, one over Westland. I'm really putting him here on their dual meet strength. I think if we went tournament, they'd probably be off the board, but I really like them this much as a dual meet team that I think they deserve to be number 9, and that's where I'm going to slot them at.
Grade 8.
At number 8, Pickerington North, the team that's going to look a lot different than they have the last month. Every time I think I maybe have Pickerington North a little too low, they just kind of have a flat round to me. I really was kind of high on them, and they got into the finals, and both the Nosteins lose.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can't get much out of the Tyler McCaffrey match because it was 0-0 before the DQ. But again, a team that just kind of struggled to me late in the finals, and I don't know. I think the team is just going to be a mystery until sectional time. So we'll slot you number 8. Number 7. Olentangy of the Lewis type.
Ooh.
A team, again, from 170 to heavyweight, they all placed in the top 4. This is who they are. They're still struggling to get a little bit of points in the bottom half, although I think the 126 probably should have won it at Orange. Kind of let the match slip away a little bit. Xander Gore at 32 starting to find his legs underneath him. And the 6-pounder starting to come around a little bit good. So, again, a team is still trying to get the little guys to help them out, but the big guys are really fighting for it.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, at number 6, we're going to go Mount Vernon. Team coming off of a bad Brecksville, but again, I thought that was a tricky spot for them and Marysville. We're going to move them down a couple spots, but again, they're going to be in the 2x4. I think they didn't have I think they wrestled Franklin Heights and
Iguana, maybe?
somebody last week really weren't challenged that much, but again, they're going to be up in Mommy, and they're going to be the 2x4, so maybe we'll get a better idea of where they're at right now.
Excellent. Give me number 5.
At number 5, we're going to move this team up. L-Town, the Gales of Lancaster, a team that has still yet to have anything go wrong. I mean, they have went to perfection from day one. Not one thing has went wrong for them. God, it's like, can they keep this up for 3 months? But again, they did win the Port Memorial. It was a little down this year, but they still won it. There wasn't a team that's in the current top 10 that was at that tournament, so again, it's kind of hard to get a gauge where they're at, but they...
well, I was going to say, they normally bring in a couple teams from out of the area, maybe the Cincinnati Butler.
But they did, but they got that big match with Pickerington North this week, so maybe they can solidify their spot at number 5.
Nice.
At number 4 is Marysville, the Monarchs. Got that big match with Central Crossing this week, so they will be up at Top Gun after that as well. I think we're still waiting to get Sharp back. Cepeda's been out with a little bit of the flu bug there. He might be back, but hopefully they'll actually have 14 people on the mat at the dual meet and the tournament as well, and we'll see what they do at that
Gotta
spot.
have 14 in a duel, man.
At number 3, that life at the top podium was very short-lived. We have Central Crossing the Comets. Again, coming off the 2 20-point blowouts. Losses. I still think they're going to rebound and beat Marysville. And you know what I was thinking about this when I was doing the rankings this week? And I know you hate it when I sit here and you're like, good God, Sean, just give the rankings. These rankings and bus fare will get you downtown. And basically what I'm saying is they're just rankings. They really don't mean much other than at the end of the season, there's 44 teams and the coaches rank these. Whoever you think is the best team gets 44 points and whoever you think is the worst team gets 1 point. And whoever has the most points picks last in determining your sectional. And even though I think Central Crossing is the slight favorite to win the district tournament, I think them going 0-2 last week, they don't deserve the right to pick last to determine where they go. So even though they're the favorite, the body of work you do during the regular season should determine a little bit on where your picking order and the sectional tournament.
Got you.
Even though they're the favorite, I think they should be ranked 3rd and they should pick accordingly 3rd from last. So, having said that, West from North, who I don't think has ever moved anywhere but where they're at, they've been second the whole time. I think the other 2 have flipped around, but they stayed solid at number 2. Really didn't have any trouble last week. I don't think they're wrestling this week. I'm not 100%. It's not 1 o'clock in the morning, so Grant hasn't sent us his schedule yet. But anyway, in back, our new number 1, not new number 1, but seems like old times, the Patriots of Liberty. I cannot be more impressed with the team they have on the mat, and I just think it is going to take a huge effort to knock them off their podium if they can avoid the injury bug and all the other trials and everything else we deal with in wrestling. So this is our 10 this week. Again, some of our emails we got is why we don't have individual rankings out yet, and me and Mark talked about it. Some other people put rankings out every week. And when you put rankings out every week and you change them, you're putting bad rankings out there. Because if you got to keep changing them every week, then the rankings you put the week before weren't that good. So we do it in 3 installments. Next week will be the second of the 3. So that's what to look forward to next week. Anything else we got?
Thanks, Rudis. Love it. And now you are inside the circle.